All right, let's dive right into one of the most incredible figures in all of spiritual history, Maharishi Vivyas. We're talking about a legendary author whose story isn't just about years or centuries, it's about millennia. So let's just get to the big, kind of mind bending question here. An author who's been alive for over 5,000 years? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci fi movie, but for millions of people, this is a core belief. And according to the ancient Hindu scriptures, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. The figure they're talking about is the one and only Maharshi Vedvyas, the person who compiled some of the most foundational spiritual texts the world has ever seen. So how on earth is that even possible? Well, that's what we're going to dig into first. Let's unpack this whole idea of his incredible, almost unbelievable longevity. Now, what's really interesting here is there's a specific term for what he is, a Chiranjeevi. And this isn't immortality like you might be thinking, living forever and ever. It's different. A Chiranjeevi is someone who's been given a blessing, a boon, to live for a really, really long time and for a very specific reason. Okay, so that immediately makes you wonder, right? What are we actually talking about here? A few hundred years? 1,000? Just how long is immensely prolonged? You might want to sit down for this one. The number we're talking about is tied to our current cosmic age, what's known as the Kali Yuga, and the total length of this age, a whopping 432,000 years. And here's the kicker. Vedvyas is believed to be here, physically present on Earth, for this entire cosmic age, an age that started way back in 3102 BCE. So yeah, he's been around for a while, and he's still got a long time left. So if he's physically here on the planet, the next question is obvious. Where is he? So let's try to pinpoint where this legendary figure might actually be living. It's a fair question, right? If you're a physical being, you need a physical home. So where does a 5,000-year-old sage decide to set up shop? Well, the scriptures actually point to a super specific, but also super remote place. We're talking deep in the Himalayas, in a region called Adi Badranath, somewhere past the famous Badranath temple. But here's the catch. It's supposedly completely inaccessible to ordinary folks like you and me. Yeah, you can't just, punch it into Google Maps and start hiking. The texts say that getting to his hidden home isn't about how fit you are. It's about having some serious spiritual or mystic power. It's like it's shielded from the everyday world. But just because he's hidden away doesn't mean he's not involved in the world. Far from it. So now, let's explore his role as this incredible, living, guiding force. This is where the story just gets even cooler. Because get this, throughout history, even with him being so remote, the absolute greatest spiritual minds, we're talking top-tier sages, have made the journey to find him and to learn from him directly. And this isn't just some vague legend. There are actual accounts in Hindu texts about these meetings. We're talking about huge figures like Adi Shankaracharya, a brilliant philosopher from the 8th century, supposedly meeting him face to face. I mean, just think about why they would go on such a dangerous journey. It was for the ultimate stamp of approval, both scholarly and spiritually. It's kind of like, imagine a physicist today getting to sit down with Albert Einstein himself to get their theory on relativity personally checked. That's the level of authority we're talking about here. They wanted their commentaries on the Brahma Sutras approved by the original author. Okay, so let's tie all of this together. On one hand, you've got his physical body hidden away somewhere. On the other, you've got his active spiritual guidance. And this all points to what you could call his dual existence. And this idea of a dual existence is really the key to the whole thing. So you have his physical presence, secluded, remote, way up in the Himalayas. But then you have his spiritual presence, which is everywhere. It's actively guiding humanity through his incredible works like the Vedas and the Mahabharata, texts that get into the very heart of duty, life, and reality itself. Right, so the main takeaway here is that when we say Vedvyas lives on, it's happening in two totally distinct but super powerful ways. Yes, he's physically present, but he also lives on through this incredible, lasting spiritual legacy. He also lives on through his extensive spiritual literature, which continue to guide humanity. And that kind of immortality, the wisdom in his words, is something any of us can tap into right now. And that really leaves us with a big question to chew on, doesn't it? The story of Vedavyas kind of forces us to ask what immortality really is. Is it just about having a long life? Or is it about creating a timeless legacy, something that continues to guide and inspire people long after you're gone?